Alright, so I thought I'd show this to give y'all an update on what's going on right now, essentially. Alright, so hop into this real quick. So, with the new mode that you guys saw me look at, right, I edited it, alright, to basically get rid of all the extra stuff, like what I was talking about in the last video. So I'm pushing this one out essentially like 10 minutes, maybe 20 after, just after I was fiddling around with it, to make sure that that my logic is sound. And right now it is. So I set the max game score to 100, and I set player kills to increase the game mode score to increments of 10. Alright, so it is tracking properly. The logic is very sound. And by very sound, I mean I literally do it the way that they have it in like the 2042 templates. Just essentially just grabbing the current score of the current team of the player and then adding it by whatever number you so choose. And the ticketing system, so you can see right here, the correct team wins, right? You get the score disappears at the top and then it reappears. It appears that whoever is working on the conquest template is still adding animations or tweaking how it works, but they got it like pretty much goddamn like on point, which is really nice. All right, so it shows you the numbers and you get the stats. However, the stats aren't tracking in here at all. So I'm still running into that issue. However, the actual game mode score is tracking, so that's back to normal, which is good. I was having issues with that earlier, and whenever I was on the guy's server, he was saying that it basically was something to do with that. So I'm going to go ahead and go into there, and yeah, so you can see I put this in like 30 minutes ago. All right, and up here I asked about it, he was saying that the UI have been fixed. So he is kind of right. I'm not entirely sure if it's working regularly without the changes that I made. I haven't reset the code to see if the score actually updates and tracks. So I'm just going to gloss over it with you guys real quick to show you the changes that I made from this base one over here. There's also a very good chance that this stuff gets updated by tomorrow. All right. So right now I got the players, like I said, I deleted the extra slots because it's supposed to be a 16 max player cap, right? Not a 64. I got rid of the objective letters and the objective team UI array, which would be like the diamonds on the top of your screen, because we don't need that. The bars don't work, as you can see, but that's probably also because scores are tracking correctly. So, you know, he added some things here with like the unique player stuff and the objective letters, which we don't need that. We only need those two. And then this is just going to be the score in the background. And then he turned the starting score, or the tickets, what are going to call it, to a variable, which is really nice. So now you can just change it once here. Although I think that's just a little bit of extra work. It's still a good thing to have. All right, so, and then we got game ongoing. I'm not entirely sure why he has this, but yeah, so that exists. And then you got team 1 and team 2. Which he's setting for the other team, right? So if the player is, you know, on team 1, then probably, yeah, a little bit confusing, but it's just the way that he did it. And the guy's a pretty decent coder, so I will give him that. On game mode started, obviously, well, you know, back to what I said, I got rid of that loop over there, clearly deleted it. We can delete this too because we don't really need it. You got the game mode limit, which is 10 minutes, and then target score of 100, like I said, the scoreboard, set variable, and then this is going to be the ongoing thing. The reason why I haven't deleted this is because, well, if I delete this, it'll fuck up the rest of the code, because he has heavily incorporated this variable throughout the code as a condition. All right. And this is what I mean up here. I don't feel like deleting it. There's not really a reason to. Again, once again, he still has it to update twice. and I looked over, and it's because he has a modulo for 0 and 1. Not entirely sure why that's the case. My guess is just so that way it shows the time with the seconds correctly. And then you got earn kill right here. Again, this is what I was saying. I did it the simplest way possible, which was just setting it all in this to get the team of the person that is triggering this, to then add the team score, which I didn't even know this was a thing you could grab, which makes this all so fucking nice and clean, right? So yeah, set game mode score to the team of the player activating this, right? And then adding it by 10. You can obviously change this to a variable if you want to, whatever. Kill assist, again, this is just supposed to update on the scoreboard, right? So again, not really doing anything for me, not entirely sure why. I'm not even entirely sure what this is supposed to be. Kill assist. Add, okay, so this is supposed to be. And then, yeah. Event other, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so there's a thing for on death update. There's this variable down here. I got rid of it. I might put it back in to see if that'll fix the scoreboard. I'm not entirely sure why it's not updating. Like I said, I'm going to have to go back through and make sure everything else is correct. And then this right here, I set it aside just to make sure this doesn't pick anything up. Because again, if there are no capture points, it doesn't really have to be that here. So I might just go ahead and delete that. This, I might think about adding back. I just want to make sure that this isn't fucked up the other stuff that I was talking about, right? But I'm pretty sure that I did change this once, and the other code in it stopped tracking the score. So if I put this back in, maybe it'll fix it. Not entirely sure. Like I said, I'll go back there and check. And this is basically just deleting the UI and rearranging it, right? And then again, right here, we don't really need this. I'll keep that just in case, and I'll keep this just in case I ever do need it again. But like I said, I showed right here, I repurposed it from just global ongoing to on game mode ending. Again, not entirely sure why the creator is using the game ongoing stuff and just doesn't use on game mode ending. So I changed that. Then we got score tracker right here. Right, again, this is a ticket bleed. I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work, but like I said, I haven't tested this clean without making the changes, so go ahead and delete that because there's no reason to keep that. We don't really need this, so we'll delete that. Again, no capture points, so we don't really need this. And then we don't need to remove them because they never existed in the first place. The only reason why I haven't really touched this stuff is just because this does change some UI stuff, but because I'm not using any of the capture points, there's not really a reason to keep it, so I'm deleting that as well. Again, like I said, we can use. And over here are the changes that I made. Like I said, we don't have vehicles, it's TDM, so those are deleted, all the info there's deleted, all the info on capture point setup has been deleted. And then if we go here to scoreboard, I can show you the changes that I made. Basically, I looked here and was like, okay, well, this all looks fairly normal, right? Again, that's just tracking the time. Again, creating the scoreboard columns and stuff, and then he left this up here so you can replace revives with captures. So basically, I did that because we don't have capture points, so we don't need them. And then this, you got team score. This you got the timer again, and then the score bar, right? That's all what that is. And then he included this down here at the bottom, which basically is all the capture point stuff, which again we don't need because it's TDM, so you can go ahead and delete that. And then up here, it's supposed to update, which is what I was confused about, because it's supposed to update the player and the score, right? For player kills. Player deaths, player kill assists, and player revives. But for some reason, none of it's tracking. This isn't firing off, which is why I'm a little bit confused. Because the subroutine is update player scoreboard, right? And they're all definitely sprinkled throughout this. See, like right here, update player scoreboard, update player scoreboard, update player scoreboard. Update player scoreboard, right? It's sprinkled all throughout that, right? And it makes sense because you do kind of have to do that. So I completely got rid of that because it's not really needed. And then right here, again, there are some capture point stuff that was in here, some for loops, which I did get rid of because there's no reason to keep it. All right, because we're not doing anything with it. So go ahead and delete that. And then we got the endgame UI stuff, which I'm pretty sure is down here. See, endgame UI, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the main issue that I'm having right now is that, like I just showed you, the score isn't tracking, and I'm not entirely sure why. Like, if we can go into here right now, none of the score is tracking. And I don't know why that is, because you can easily see in this code over here that it's supposed to update the player score every time. It's supposed to update the amount of kills with the update player scoreboard. It's supposed to subtract the score. Well, this is for. Wait, hold up. Yeah, no, I'm retarded. It says subtract. There's no subtract. Where was it? Yeah, this is supposed to subtract, right? Yeah. So obviously it's supposed to add. It's supposed to do math, and it's not mathing, or it's just not tracking. And I'm not entirely sure why that is. I don't know if it's because maybe I left over some code in here that is about the objective UI, right? If y'all catch it, and whenever I'm if y'all catch it because I did it in this video, that would be greatly appreciated. But I'm pretty sure this logic is pretty sound, right? Because I'm trying to put some logic and not really anything else, right? Because this right here is mainly just supposed to update the scoreboard as well whenever a player joins. And if there's like a million objectives, right? Because a person could have more than 5 points or less than 5 points on their given map. All right, so we got that in-game UI again. Nothing in here referring to the objective from what I'm looking at. Again, this is all just like UI stuff. Match round time, time remaining, right? Event player, nothing there, nothing there. All right. Update scoreboard, getting the player, updating that player's super team, whatever the score for, right? Updating the player kills, updating the player deaths, and then updating the kill assists and the revives. So just get and I'll figure it out hopefully if y'all don't.